Peace, my family, and raw back to all those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all the good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good nine mind. How y'all feeling? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up. You know what's up in your higher nature, and most definitely cleansing, because you know we have to cleanse, right? Cleansing the lows. I came here today to express, and this is something that I was just thinking about when I'm going through this good journey within in the beginning, right? And this is speaking on the caterpillar stage, right? And you know how caterpillars, they live to eat, right? And to avoid being eaten themselves, they have spines and poisons and camouflage, to try to protect them, right? And the same thing is with us, right? We were made to eat green herbs for our needs, and we were naturally herbivores, right? As Homo sapiens and vegetarians, fruits for thy medicine, and you must understand that that's a part of being in the caterpillar stage, right? And once you begin to do this, right, you begin to remove those toxins out of your body and get the stages and get the metamorphosis going. That is a part of the stages of when you are, starting out, right? And it's very important also that when you're in this caterpillar stage that you are, feeding your soul. You must feed your soul. And how you feed your soul is through the knowledge of yourself, right? You must feed your soul properly with the right knowledge. This is how I'm relating to it, because this is what I did that was a part of my journey that helped me so much. And that's why I call my channel The Butterfly, because it had a lot of synchronistic messages on my path about that, and it all makes sense, to me along my path when, the Most High was showing me some things, right? And it's about listening. So the feeding of soul, right? The right knowledge is what we need to raise our consciousness and feed our soul, so then we can begin to, do what we came here to do. How are you gonna know what you need to do if you haven't been feeding your soul? You haven't been learning about yourself. It's about knowing thyself. So you must learn about who you are and, the world and the universe, this boundless universe is what you actually live in, right? A part of the all, right? So it's very important that we begin to take care of ourselves, right? And in those stages, that's what you learn. You learn that the Most High wants you to change your habits, right? Change the way you eat, right? Change the way you think, right? Because you are what you think, Change the way you see, the world that you're in, and coming to the grace of seeing reality for what it really is. One by eating, live foods, right, for your body, herbs for your meat, food be thy medicine, right? And not just speaking about, physical food as well. All of it is about balance, and all of it applies. It's about your spiritual food, the soul food, the right knowledge of yourself. And once you begin to see that you need real food, right? Once you begin to realize that going through your, metamorphosis, your transformation, you begin to see that this is a part of healing, the mind, and healing your body and your spirits and your soul. All of this your soul is craving for, right? And moving less on your flesh, being due to the fact of the flesh being weak, right? It's about, practicing on, taming, the flesh when it comes to certain things that it wants, because most of the time what the flesh wants, will lead you astray. And it's not fun, but I'm just saying that, it's a part of my little personality. Sometimes it just, I laugh, but it's not like a laughter like, ha. It's just like, just seeing things for what they are, right? Anyway, but it's about also, in that stage, right, you got to create healthier habits for yourself, because being taught in the world and society of, not really eating for your health and for healing, and just eating off of just pleasure and cravings and things like that, and all aspects of your life with what you are constantly tuning yourself into whatever you are into, right? And sometimes we get overstimulated with a lot of things around us. We get overstimulated with things that gets our attention, right? Or gets our mind in different places, whether that's with the TV, whether it's with music, whether that's with just the news and politics, and all the things that gets your mind trapped into a certain way of thinking, right? And they use this tool, the media, to keep your mind on a certain frequency, and less of telling you real truths or the whole truth about it. It may tell you a little glimpse of it, but they're not going to tell you the whole truth, right? So you have to be mindful of what you're tuning into and making sure that what it is, right, you're getting the facts of it all, right? And so that's why it's very important, if you want to get the facts about the world and the planet you're on, why not get it from the source, right? Why not get it from the Most High? You know what I'm saying? He wants you to have it all, right? And that's what this is about. This is about getting back into your Godhood, because how are you going to get into your Godhood and become, who you already are, right? Become that again, right? If you don't have the knowledge of what you were supposed to know, and knowing how to move here in this realm by following in His ways and His will, it's very important that we begin to see this, because it's all about growth, right? And it's very important that we create healthy activities for ourselves, where we used to doing certain things to cope, we're doing certain things, to get our mind off of life and things. But we need to be doing is, creating healthier activities for you to learn more, for you to grow, for you to sometimes also just have fun, like as far as just healthier ways to do that, going back into your inner child and your creative abilities and what you actually are into, what you used to do, what you like. And that's good sometimes to healthy activities, like, okay, someone who likes to paint, someone who likes to ride bikes, someone who likes to skate, little things that will take you to the place of that inner child that can bring out, I remember I love doing this, right? And that part will help you to cope in many different ways, but in a healthy way, right? Somewhere where you can take your children, right? Things like that will help you bring that inner light out of you, because that's where it comes from. As children, they don't have all of that heaviness on them. They're all light-hearted and pure-hearted, and they might get a little mad and then they back laughing in the next breath, right? You see, it's not as serious, right? But as we become adults, life becomes serious, right? When it comes to how we have to take care of our responsibilities in life. But at the same time, we must remember also that we can have healthy fun, healthy activities that will help us smile, put smiles on our faces, and not be so caught up in all the chaos that's happening in the world, because that's always going to be there, you know what I mean? And it's good also to be aware of what's happening. Don't think I'm not on that tip where you are supposed to be aware of what's going on. Yeah, you're supposed to be aware, but don't tune yourself so much into it that you can saturate yourself with it to where you begin to lose your mind. Because it most definitely will get you there if you just all up in it, right? With needs to be all up in is, the things that's going to be healthy for your growth and what the Most High says, and living your life and your life purpose. That's what you should be all up in, because that's the focus and the reason why you're here, right? And that's very important. So, in that being said, right, we must also learn that, you must learn your poisons, right? You must learn your triggers, and you must learn to identify your addictions. Because whether we realize this or not, it's about examining and acknowledging what they are. A lot of people don't acknowledge the things that, they feel, is something, they're doing to their temple or to their body that is causing them to, have mental, physical symptoms, and, things that needs to be looked at deeper, right? And that's the thing. We like to make it seem like, or at least some do, which this is just my experience. A lot of people make it seem like it doesn't exist, or they go over like whatever, or they don't try to go deeper into it with their life and their feelings and what has transpired in their life. They try to look over it and act like it didn't happen, right? And whether you realize it or not, everything that happened to you, it's in your body, it's in your soul, in your spirit. Everything that happened to you is recorded inside of you. And what people need to realize is that everything that happened to you is something for you to learn from, it's something for you to make peace with, it's something for you to forgive yourself and forgive others. Because at the end of the day, everybody be in their mental state, or whatever mental state they be in coping with life, right? And it doesn't say that you're not taking accountability for your actions, right? You are. But you have to begin to learn to free yourself, right? Because everybody has done things wrong on this planet. Everybody has done things to someone, and you have to begin to look at it in that way, where nobody's perfect out here. So, and it can be very traumatic experiences that happen to you, and you have to begin to learn how to give that to the Most High, because you can't hold it. It's too heavy for your heart. You gotta release it. You gotta speak to the Most High and ask Him to release this off my heart, off my spirit, off my soul, and make peace with it. Because at the end of the day, I know sometimes it's hard, and it's a lot of pain in certain things that we experience here on this planet, and all of it is life. But we must remember that because we went through it, it doesn't make us who we are, and we have to learn to see that we are more than what we experience in these lives. And we have to learn also when it's something that's outside of your control, right? We also have to learn that you have to learn how to forgive. Forgiveness is key. Forgive others no matter what you've been through. You have to forgive. You have to release yourself. That's the only way you're going to release. And sometimes I know it's hard for people to hear this and hard for people to forgive, but that's the only way you're going to release. That's the only way you're going to make peace. Because if you're holding on to things spiritually, how you going to fly? Because it's spiritual, family. How you going to fly? You have to learn how to release all your pain, all your suffering, everything that you've been through. That it's recorded. The Most High knows, and you have to learn how to just be at peace. Because at the end of the day, it's like this. All you can do is look at the present. Because focusing on the past and the future is something that is we just, something that you just can't dwell on, because you're not there anymore, right? And you haven't made it to where you are in the future. And how you begin to make changes, it's all about being in the now, focusing on the present right now. That's the only way you're going to be making changes. There's no promises of tomorrow, and you must understand it's about being present and being able to work on yourself and correct yourself on a day-to-day basis, where you know what life is, and you experience a lot, but we can't keep holding on to things because it's gonna hold you back, and that's the truth of it all. It's gonna hold you back. And everybody has sins out here, right? And holding on to the things that you have done that you are shameful about, and things like that, it's not going to help you none, because at the end of the day, again, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. And whether you know it or not, you are worthy. All your flaws, you are worthy. The Most High sees you, and you just have to get up and clean yourself up, because the Most High put something inside of you, and the treasure is there. You just have to learn how to clear the smoke, the impurities, so you can begin to get your mind right, so you can begin to think straight. And how you gonna do that in this caterpillar state? That's what this is about. This is about sitting down, getting with yourself, and being real with yourself, and learning more about who you really are and the world around you. That's what this is about. That's what that stage is. Walking into the unknown and into the known. Because once you begin to know more about yourself, knowing thyself, that's where the journey starts. So it's very important that you begin to get this knowledge, the right knowledge, the correct information that will help you advance your being and get in tune with your inner being. And once you begin to see that all of these things were preparing you for the journey ahead, right? All the experience that you had, it was preparing you. And we must learn to move lighthearted, light as a feather. Because it's a lot of things that happens in these hells. Remember, that's where we at. Question, are we in heaven right now? Yes, we're supposed to bring the heaven down to earth, but are we in heaven right now? In the state of mind that you are, you can create that, right? You can create the heaven in your mind with how you live your life and your lifestyle, if it's pleasing to the Most High. You know what I mean? But reality of the chaos that we're in right now, that's what I'm speaking on. Are we in heaven right now? You know what I mean? And once you begin to see that this journey is about bringing out all the stuff that you hid, going within, all the things that you've done that you can think of, confession is real. And you have to learn how to repent from all of it, right? Because the Most High already knows that you did those things, right? And it's about repenting of everything you ever done, each lifetime you ever lived, right? Repenting of all of it and moving forward and knowing that the Most High is with you. Because guess what, family? If you are still here, right, and you've reached my channel, right, and you're hearing this, that means that you're on the right path. Because our master teacher, Dr. Malachi G.R.L., is here to tell you the truth and how to transform your being, transform yourself and your life once again. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be in life right now. beautiful time to be in this Aquarian age, where truth is finally coming out more and more, and we begin to see more happening on this planet. But remember, the journey is about your purpose. No matter what's going on in the chaos of the world, you have to remember it's about getting alignment in tune. So whatever happens, family, you'll be prepared, and you'll be able to communicate with the Most High because you're in tune, and the Most High begin to help you navigate what's next. So remember, you gotta trust yourself, trust your intuition. The Most High is inside of you, and you know what's up. You know what time it is. All revelations are being revealed, coming out. Truths are coming out, pouring out, cup overflowing. And you know what? That's a beautiful place to be in. Because at the end of the day, once you begin to really see life for what it really is in reality, that's truly when you begin to live, family. Because again, it's about preparing for the next. The next what? The next life. Your higher life. So, know that everything in this life happens for a reason. There's no coincidences. There are accidents, but there's no coincidences in this world. At the end of the day, the Most High is with us all. And we have to remember throughout it, sometimes we might feel alone. It's a part of it. But just because you may walk alone doesn't mean that you're alone. The Most High, your angels, your messengers, your descendants are with you. So remember, family, know this. And everything that you go through is just to prepare you for the next level. Like I said before, it's levels to this. So once you conquer one part of the journey, it's on to the next. And first and foremost, it's the caterpillar stage. And that's the beginning, the caterpillar stage. That walking into the unknown, accepting life for what it really is, walking to reality. Because the truths that you're going to hear that come out my mouth, family, you may not like what's going to come out my mouth, right? But remember, you got to hold strong, stay strong in this. Because, again, family, you may be like, wait, what? And you may get mad, and unsubscribe and, feeling some type of way. The thing is, though, you got to stick with it, because things will be explained as you go on further in the journey. As you begin to study more and get more into it, you begin to get everything that you need. You got to make sure you get it all, family, before you skedaddle if you decide to do so, right? You got to make sure you get the whole thing, and it's a whole lot. Like I said, the information is boundless. You feel me? Do you understand me? It's boundless. You're going to be studying for a lifetime, and it's a beautiful, beautiful journey. But just know, just because you hear one part and you run off with it, you can't do that on the journey. You actually have to get the whole plate, not just baby food. You got to get the whole thing, because that's what's going to piece it all together for you. You can't just get parts of a puzzle. You got to get all of the pieces and put it together to get the full picture. So remember this while you're on this journey, because the truth is many truths, many, boundless, okay? But know that we here, and know that we are with you all. So don't get discouraged out here. Stick to it. Clean yourself up. Clean your temple. Clean your life. Get rid of people and places and things. Eliminate it from your life that is no longer fitting for where the Most High is taking you, right? By now, if people over here looking at you like you're the crazy one, and what you're doing is like, what is going on with you? Question mark. Because again, family, you need to be around people that is on that same wavelength, so you guys can begin to, learn from each other and get where y'all going, because at the end of the day, most people nowadays, with the truth being out since 1970, family, and people are just now hearing certain things, some people are late to the class. But just because you're late, family, don't mean you can't get it now. Because it's a beautiful place and beautiful time to be in, because the Most High is merciful, the most merciful. And it gives you so much grace. So understand when that grace comes. Understand when that mercy comes upon your life. When you understand that wake-up call. When you understand that crossroad moment. When you understand those light bulb moments. Those synchronicities. The universes will send many messages your way to help you to get your messages you need, and for you to answer your true calling and fulfill your destiny and soul mission. It's real, family. So remember, I'm here with you, and I'm here to help y'all. Okay? So whatever questions you have, is nothing that is a crazy question, or something that's like, it's no question that is crazy. Every question that you have is your question, and it's a beautiful thing to have. So what I'm saying is, you can ask questions, right? And if you want me to do a video on something, you can put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to do a video on it. Get you the information that you need. Share a book with you. Get you the stuff that you might need. But again, I won't know until you actually ask. So again, all of it is here for you. The right knowledge is here. Our master teacher is here to give you everything that you need. And I'm just letting y'all know, due to me walking my journey myself and getting back to the Most High, family, and back connected, aligned, divine, aligned with the Most High, I'm here to also help you too. Get back in divine alignment. So, just saying, just letting that be known. I'm here to help. So, I don't mind answering any questions you have, because this is why I'm here. So, notice. Alright, so again, I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Alright. I want y'all all to know again that you are loved so much beyond this world. Oh yeah. And in it, know this. Begin to spread that love one to another, family. Oh yeah. You got to. Yeah. Make you feel good. That love frequency. That's right. Be the peace that you seek. Release, Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi York. Oh, that's right. Peace, shalom, Hashuk, divine love, family. Oh, right. Yeah. And why do? And it's off.